question you asked me, it's very selfish for us to do what we do, but in that we try to give you as much of us as we can, right? And the person sitting across from us. Sometimes it's a solo podcast, sometimes it's this here. So
it's very vulnerable too.
It's very vulnerable. That's exactly what I got. A lot of people saying thanks for the vulnerability, and P mentions it in the podcast. And honestly, I do not like to give that part of me up sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because it can get deep, bro. There's like real shit that you've been through, that I've been through, that we all go through, and like suffering in itself. And it's hard for us to look at ourselves in the mirror because maybe we went through something that we're not proud of.
Right.
Or, we have it so deep in our souls that we don't want to bring it up.
Yeah.
I think it's important to grow as a human, to look at those traumas and aspects in our life that we're not proud of, or that may have happened to us, without us wanting it, right? Or whatever it may be for anybody. There's a whole bunch of there's a list of trauma that we can go through, but we're not going to. Everybody's is different.
Yeah.
But I think that's important. And for me, it's kind of a little bit of a disadvantage to everybody else, but hey, who wants to fucking lift hay bales when they're 13?
Well, it's like, would you want to have someone who's doing, lifting hay bales, or someone who's injecting steroids in the ass? You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, whatever way is easier for you.
Whichever way is easier for you.
Whatever floats your boat, bro.
That's when the deadlifts come in.
I feel like people give they look at steroids and or they hear about steroids and they're like, oh, you can't do that. Your fucking balls will shrink. You're fucking cheating.
Oh, you think like it has like a negative condensation?
Yeah, I think steroids do.
Like that,
yeah. But I don't. I guess I understand it. I played sports before, and I guess that's kind of like cheating. But
yeah, I think sports wise, depending on. So this is my personal hot take. I feel like when you're sports, as long as it's non-contact, I feel like you should take some shit.
Why?
Recovery. Not take some shit, but like, all right, for example, if you're doing MMA and boxing, I don't think you should be taking steroids straight up, because
what about I know there's other enhancers that aren't steroids, like what is it, PPO, or I forget what the actual terms are, but there are things that you can take that help you recover that aren't steroids. Do you think those should not be allowed as well?
I think I would need to know specifically what it is. Though. Like, what are we talking, like peptides? I looked that up, peptides, and I'm like, are you talking about a cycle? Like
more like, I guess not something that's physically gonna make you stronger, but I guess when you recover faster.
What about EPO? How do you feel about
I thought it was PPO.
Oh, EPO.
PPO is fucking insurance.
Yeah. So EPO, what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to help you regenerate red blood cells. Okay. I guess. Don't misquote me on this one, but it's, as far as my concerned, it is that it's supposed to, a lot of endurance, swimming, biking.
They do that.
They take EPO because it's supposed to make you get up your red blood cells really fast, and it helps with recovery. But the bad side of that too is that sometimes it can also cause blood clots. So I've heard.
Yeah.
The two people, the most prominent two that are most famously known for taking the EPO and getting caught?
I would probably say Lance Armstrong's one.
Lance Armstrong, number one.
And then number two is probably somebody in the same bike cycling or...
Ooh, no, different sport.
Boxing?
MMA. TJ Dillashaw.
There you go. I was thinking about, I was like, skinny white guy.
Yeah,
TJ
Dillashaw for recovery. And different reasons too. Like,
what's crazy about that whole situation is that he went on a podcast. He went on Joe Rogan's podcast and claimed that nothing and that he was clean.
He could test me right now.
And then,
of course, you got to sell it.
Yeah. And then fucking a month later, it comes out, this fool was just doing everything.
Yeah.
And, well, I guess not everything, but EPO.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, certain stuff I'm on board with, and some stuff I'm like, nah, bro. Like I said, when it comes to, like, you're crazy as hell if you think that LeBron James is clean.
Exactly.
You're crazy as hell if you don't think, and this is no shade or disrespect to LeBron James. I'm just saying 20 years longevity, you can't just accredit it to just be like, I stretch every night, I cold plunge. It's like, nah, bro. You're 35 years old, 36 I think now, right? 36, 35 years old.
He's getting older.
And still like moving like he's 21, taking some stuff. But also, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Like 20 years, he's not hurting anybody.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I would think I would even say Tom Brady. I think he's
for
an
sure.
example.
40, was he 44?
Yeah, even though you're a quarterback, you still have muscles that are deteriorating at a normal rate for a 40-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So something's going on, right?
Something.
And I don't think. See, that's where my line, like where the lines get kind of blurred. In my opinion, it's like, do we want to see them perform? Do we want to see them play? Is it really even? Or are people masking it and hiding it? I'm sure, right? You can't be a defense or offensive lineman in the NFL taking this physical abuse week in, week out, not just during the games, but, during practice as well. I think that it is, I don't know, kind of ignorant to think that everybody's clean.
That's true. And I'll even take it one step further than that.
I'll take you two hands and raise you
I'll
four
see
hands.
you and raise it another round. But I'll even take it a step forward, and I'll say that I probably should have done in the intro and then say who's here, because they're probably, you know what I mean? We have
Oh,
some new
yeah.
listeners,
Don't worry
new
about
guests.
me. I'm just here, bro.
So he's just here, but I want to say, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I am your host, Albert Fig, and in this week's special episode, we got the return of Don Julio, aka Jay the Pounds, aka
Me.
J-Mac.
J-Mac. Oh, I've never heard that one before.
J-Mac, the Mackin is cracking.
Dave was cracking.
We haven't seen each other in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all been good. And I want to say cheers.
Cheers,
man.
brother.
We haven't had one in a minute.
No,
man.
I know, right?
Thank you,
Thanks for having me back.
it's always solid with you here.
I appreciate that. It always feels like a smooth podcast. Last time I was here, we did 81 shots.
81 shots, dude. Never doing that again.
Honestly, I'll do it again with you, but I got to, prep.
No, I'm never doing 81 shots again. You know how I know?
Why?
I know, because that's in the past. Now we're doing now the next one's going to be
in the
120.
hundreds.
Yeah, 120 shots.
Damn. Yeah, I'm getting silent over here just because I wasn't really trying to do any more shots on this podcast.
Well, we could do it like
No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking with it, bro. I'm with it.
It's fun, and it's honestly it's a good.
Yeah, what's up with everybody blowing us up, bro? You're
I know, right?
I'm checking my
you see, yeah, I'm checking it right now. My bad.
Landlord.
I know, right?
Already.
Because I was saying, so for y'all that don't know off air, by the time this releases, it'll be official. But like I'm negotiating not negotiating, but I'm being a third party thing for a truck that's being sold, and so they're blowing me up right now because they're like moving both different directions, and I'm like I can text, but I can't talk right now. But I got that going on.
We got to make sure we get the sales going, you know?
Yeah, exactly, bro.
We're men of many hats.
Yes, as you can tell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But dude, what's cool is that what I like most about the time, like these gaps in between it, you know what I mean, is that a lot of stuff happens because it's not like there's gaps and we just completely like there's no contact. Like we still, you know what I mean? We still outside of podcasting, trust, we're still homies. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're able to talk and everything.
I wish we could hang more, but just sometimes the timing and everything. You have a child and work, and it all gets a little busy, as everybody knows, right? Life, you start to grow up, life gets a little busier. The time you have is a little bit more precious. So. I was having this conversation earlier with my girl and my mom, actually. Just as we get older, the time that we have, we value a lot more. When I'm younger, you're like running amok with, with your homies, with your other friends, with your coworkers. And, I think now I'm realizing that the time that you give yourself is most important, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to have at least time for yourself to recover mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever. You got to take that time for yourself, and that's what I've been doing, bro. That's where I've been on a hiatus from the podcast.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot for me to think about and reflect on, and changes are being made internally, right? I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to be back. I didn't want to rush the podcast because people were like, "Hey, bro, where's the podcast at? What are you doing?" I wasn't trying to be boxed in by anybody else anymore. That's how it kind of felt. Like I needed to make sure I have an episode out. I need to have a guest. I need to talk about this. I need to talk about that. And in this time off, it pretty much taught me, this is your podcast, right? And you have to do it the way you want to,
right?
Or else it's gonna lack in certain areas.
Yeah. Also, it's an interesting perspective too. That's why I want to have you on too, because I also was taking a hiatus too. So we're getting both of us back, and we can talk about our perspectives on the time, the break and everything. I know you just had the one that just dropped. You just did it like a He's Back episode with Angel, Yes. And it was cool because you were able to kind of use that platform to literally tell the people exactly what's been going on with you, what you've been thinking, how you're feeling, where your mind state was at. And then I thought it was cool too for Angel to kind of like be not necessarily the moderator, but ask you as if you're the one that's being interviewed,
that was the
right?
plan.
Yeah,
that was the plan. I wanted him in particular to sit down and ask me the questions, only because, I mean, he's a big reason. He is one of the reasons that Full Circle is a entity, is something, is because we created this in our ideas in 2015 and in our thoughts, and it came to fruition. And this man knows me probably better than a lot of people. So I told him, hey, bro, I would really be honored if you can sit down and interview me for a change and come up with questions that you want to, but I want you to kind of dig at me a little bit, like I want to be the guest. I want to be the guest on my podcast. I want to be able to tell people more about me and more about why we started, more about where we're at and where we're going. And I think he was the perfect moderator for that.
Yeah, well, because it's like what you guys said in the episode. He was the one from the beginning. That's how it all started, And so it was good to essentially like do a reintroduction, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A reintroduction. And what I thought too was cool was so what I thought was cool too is that you made it was a good point that you said. You're like, as time passes, more you might have new eyeballs, more listeners, people who are just now discovering the fact that you have a podcast, getting a new audience with the hats, and then being like, there's some people that don't even know about that I had a podcast, so it was good to do an introductory thing like that. So I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, it's funny. I have people who will buy a hat off me and they'll be like, hey, bro, like, is that your podcast? And then like me, like in my head, wait, what are you talking about? Like, which podcast? He's like, the one, the link in your bio. Oh, yeah, that's my podcast, bro. I haven't done an episode in a while, but there it is if you want to check it out.
Check it out, yeah. Catch up,
And then people check them out, and it's a trip. Like, I haven't logged on to my the third-party platform where I, like, release everything. I hadn't logged into that in a while, and I started to, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm getting listened still?
Yeah.
Like, it boggles me. You know what I mean? That people even sit down and want to listen to what I have to say.
Yeah, well, it's also, it's remember, like, once they're out forever.
Fuck,
you know what I'm saying?
Tell me
so it's
about
like
it.
You're gonna see fluctuations and rises at random times because people are still catching up to them, and also just discovering it too. So I thought that was really cool. Like I said, doing that, like the reintroduction type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt natural. But your time off, bro.
Yeah.
I know it. I don't think it was as long, but I'm sure it was needed.
Yeah, I did. I talked about it with Peasy when he came on. I talked about how it was the break from it was more so I needed to figure out a structure, because surprisingly shocking to everybody, I kind of would. I knew I had a set routine as far as how I want to do things when I edit, when I upload, when the episode gets released and everything. But I really didn't have a set day where I know, okay, these days I'm strictly recording. Let me schedule around that. Or this day I might do this, or am I going to have a person like on? Sometimes I would have guests on that would be like a day before. Sometimes I would record solo episodes the day that is getting dropped and everything.
And that's tough.
You know what I mean?
That's tough, especially you go through your whole day at work. This man wakes up like at the ass crack of dawn every day, goes to different parts of California, and comes home and still puts out a podcast, edits, records. Yeah. It's wild. The first podcast that we recorded, it was like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
In the evening, and you were like, "Oh, I was getting off of work. I was in Daly City or Daly City or whatever the fuck
near San Francisco." Yeah.
Yeah, and in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, all right, like you're like, and the more I got to hang out with you, and the more I got to talk with you on the podcast and off the podcast, that's just who you are. You are a person who just you're a fucking doer, bro.
Yeah, I just go
do it.
Do it.
Yeah, but I think from what I'm hearing is like, sometimes all that doing isn't doing you justice.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to take a step back, and you're like, okay, now I'm only recording on these days.
Yeah.
And the podcast is releasing on this day. So it's giving you time.
Yeah, I know ahead of time. And it's cool because I like to, I mean, this might sound a bit contradictory because we literally just talked about, recording this yesterday. Like, you know what I mean? Yesterday we were talking and now we're here. But now what I'm doing.
You had this day scheduled for whoever was going to.
This one was already scheduled, yeah.
Yeah.
I already had it. And, but that's what I like doing now. Now I'm booking a week in advance. And I'm doing them on Sundays. And then, and I know for a fact, I know what my Sunday nights are going to look like. I know Mondays, and I know what the days are going to look like when it's referring to the podcast stuff. So that structure alone helped. But also I had asked people for feedback and like what can I do to improve the podcast and everything. So I was taking all that in and then understanding how I'm gonna actually apply those into the routine, you know. So the break was that, but it also was good too for, like you spoke about too, just honestly mental clarity. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it can get fogged constantly doing this.
Talking about the same things.
And being on it, right? Yeah, it's like going on and then doing this and having the setup and then overthinking it. So it's like I can see how it fogs a few things, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was like the mental clarity was like needed too.
Sometimes it takes away from the conversation.
Right.
Right? You know, and then the way I looked at it is like, damn, I'm disrespecting these people.
Yeah.
On my podcast, I'm disrespecting the listeners who are listening because I'm giving it I'm trying to give it my all, but I can't because I'm fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? So let me fucking pull myself back in.
Pull the reins.
Yeah, pull in the reins real quick. I'm managing the ship. I forgot I was steering, you know. This is my ship. I'm captain now.
Look at me. I am the captain now.
Dude, that shit was wild. It was a fucking crazy fucking movie.
I have never seen it. You know what else? I've
really?
never seen it. I've never seen it.
I'd watch it. It's good. It's all right.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Well, you didn't sell me in it.
Yeah,
this
honestly,
guy
he didn't sell it.
He didn't sell it.
Tom Hanks, though. Tom Hanks, you know what I mean?
It's Woody. It's Woody, bro. You know what I mean?
Wilson.
Castaway. That's one I could watch again. Castaway is one of the ones where you can get a random, go to Bevmo, right? Go to Bevmo, go to Total Wine, go to your local liquor store, go to the whiskey aisle and just choose. Don't worry about your go-tos. Don't worry about one that you like the most. Just choose a random one and play Castaway and just have fun.
You be in your feels, bro. That's such a sad movie.
It's actually the feels.
Speaking of whiskey, though, question real quick.
Ask me.
Have you ever had Screwball whiskey?
Yes. The peanut butter one?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You just not got preview on that?
Bro, I just got on this shit this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nah, it's all good. You're just 5 years late. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, I don't know when it came out. But did it surprise you? Were you really like, oh,
yeah.
damn?
So we it was for a friend's birthday. We were out all day. And, we were just turned up. That's when I got the tat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you got it while drinking Screwball whiskey?
Prior.
Oh, yeah, I thought I go, okay, maybe that's not the, maybe you don't. Maybe
I don't want tattoos on my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. But it was like, we go back to the fucking crib. You still want to keep turning up. So the homie had he's all, grab that whiskey over there if you haven't tried it. It's fucking fire. And I was like, all right, cool. I've never had it. And it said peanut butter. I take the shot of it and I'm like, this is liquid peanut butter.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah, I had like 2 of those. And then, we were fucking toast, bro. We started drinking McClellan.
Oh, those are good.
You're supposed to sip that.
Scotch.
Yeah, you're supposed to sip that. We took shots of it. We were fucking wilding, taking shots of McClellan Scotch. After the fact, when we took the shots, he was like, yeah, we're normally supposed to sip this, but, fuck it. Yeah. That shit put like hair on my fucking tits. You ever have nipple hair?
There's different types, bro. Like the McClellan, like you can go, it's up there in price too, but they have like a beginner, an intermediate, and then like an advanced version of it. Yeah, and then like even they get up there in price. But it's honestly, taste-wise, quality-wise, it's great. My only thing is that it's not one that I can have every single week. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that?
Two different reasons. One, cost-wise, you're going to burn through your fucking wallet. But if you got it like that, you got it like that, you know? So that's number one. Number two is that
I don't got it like that.
I don't like to oversaturate my taste buds, and I like to enjoy taste, right? So that's why, as much as I enjoy coffee, I don't drink it every day. I drink it every other day. And there's times where if I do drink it like back to back, it's like I must be like fucking super tired or some shit. You know what I mean? So there's that. Some days I'll have 2 coffees in a day. But then I just know if I do 2 in a day, I won't drink coffee the next day. Sometimes not even the day after that.
Bro, it's crazy the way you're disciplined.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's the taste buds of it. Well, because I love the taste. So same thing with alcohol. Like
is that you like still giving yourself that prize every other day? It's like, ooh, I'm looking forward to it, or like why do you do it that way? I know
I guess not to everything. Not to everything.
Oh, okay.
Not to everything. There's some days I'm like, I would love to have it every day. Like there's a thing called vagina. Like that's.
Oh, I heard about that. I used to get some of that back back in the days.
Yeah, I would enjoy that every day if I could. If I could. That's getting like. Yeah. But
in the doghouse.
Currently, no, that's one that I can have every day, and I wouldn't lose any taste buds of it.
We're talking about we're talking about
you're talking about growing that facial hair.
You're talking about, let me
You
see,
feel me? You're trying to just
let me get up
dive
in
in.
that,
Let me
you
get up in
know?
that. But it was like so. It's funny because I equate it to my drinks too. Like from my
You
my
equate
coffee.
vagina to
Well, I do. Watch me flow. Watch me flow. Watch this. So the way they are similar. And
Okay.
nah. But like for my coffee, like I like strong coffee, right? Like I don't get no cream, no sugar in my
Okay.
coffee. I drink it. I
so
drink
that's where you
straight
get
up.
it. You get it.
I get it straight up, or sometimes I'll get if I do a creamer. Sometimes I'll get oat milk or almond milk. You know what I mean? Certain stuff. I won't get any of the pumps, the syrups, any of that stuff. I like to taste. Actually taste stuff. So same thing with my liquor. If I'm drinking liquor, I don't mix. You won't see me get an AMF
or a chaser for your
I
tequila
won't get a
stuff.
chase. If I'm taking a shot, no chaser. Sometimes I'll get like a Jameson and ginger ale. You know what I mean? But that's about it.
That's my gin and ginger ale.
Yeah,
that's
about it. If I'm drinking tequila, I just like to drink the tequila straight over rocks.
That's the
take
Mexican
shots.
in you right
Yeah.
there.
And but it's the taste of it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, that's why I don't drink hard liquor. Like that's not my go-to all these times because I want to enjoy the taste
When you do.
when I do.
Yeah. Do you think that, all right, so tequilas real quick. Do you think there's a different taste from a bottle from Mexico and a bottle from the
Absolutely.
United States?
Absolutely.
What do you think? Why? What's going on?
It's not so. It's tough to when it comes sourced like directly from there.
Directly
You
from
know
your
you're
tío.
getting it from there and it's bottled right there and then. If it's distributed or made over here, you don't know what kind of additives they're putting. I feel like it.
Well, I know the alcohol percentage is higher in the States than it is in Mexico.
Is it really?
Yeah, so
Damn, I
like
didn't know
you'll
that.
get a bottle of 30% in Mexico that's 40 here. And what I noticed is the taste. You know, here people think of tequila and they're like, "Oh, no, I can't." Ugh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, why don't disrespect me like that, mother sucker?" You know? But they've never had a real good bottle of tequila.
Yeah,
Right?
You know what they say about that too. I don't mean to interrupt, but maybe we were about to say the same thing. But they told from what I know, they say that when you know it's good tequila, you don't need a chaser.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can taste the fucking grains and all the different the ingredients that make up the actual alcohol in Mexico. My grandpa taught me how to actually drink it. He's like, "You're not supposed to take shots of it."
Yeah.
He's like, he'll pour up a shot glass and he'll drink half.
And sip, right?
He'll sip it and he'll be like, not even make a face, just
Yeah.
look at me, keep talking straight. And so that's how I learned how to formally, like, really, really drink tequila and enjoy it. One year we brought a couple bottles. We had a bunch of bottles back, and it was Easter at my grandparents' house, and we killed like 2 bottles, bro. Just
Damn.
sitting there, no chaser,
No headache.
no fucking headache, just sitting there drinking it. And I was like, damn, this is fire.
Yeah.
It was Don Julio 70,
Oh shit! Yeah.
and it was from the motherland.
Yeah.
You know, there's some fucking bird brought it over here and then dropped it off.
Yeah. Triple
but yeah.
distilled. What is it? You know, it's vodka, huh?
So that's a little
That's
different.
vodka, a
But
little
if you
different.
haven't tried a bottle of tequila from Mexico, find your nearest Mexican friend.
Yeah, and they'll bring
Have
it.
them call their grandparents or tios. I guarantee you'll find them under the sink, in the closet. Where else do they hide them? In the
I've
cabinets.
seen one time. I think I've told this story before, but one time, it's not. This story isn't about tequila, but it's vodka, but it's alcohol, so I feel like it's the same. But one time, I used to work for an ignition interlock company, and we installed breathalyzers, GPS trackers,
Holy shit.
monitors, and stuff like that in cars. And one time, this guy came in, DUI and everything, right? And we were working underneath his car, and we popped the hood, and then some cars have the battery exposed like that, and some of the newer cars have like a battery cover.
Yeah, the
So I
plastic
had
little
to
black cover.
exactly. I had to access the battery. I popped the cover. You know what I found? A bottle of vodka hidden inside the battery. And
This man had issues.
And you know the crazy thing is so he was there with his wife. So you come in, he can't drive. You're not supposed to be driving, so someone's supposed to drive you, right? Because you have a DUI and you haven't spent a license, right? So he was in there with his wife. I kind of fucked him up, like I ruined his night unintentionally, but I didn't know, right? So I go to him. It's him and his wife, and I go, "Excuse me, sir." I was like, there's a bottle of vodka in your battery," and his wife just goes. She looks at him and he goes, "What? Really?" it's in there? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's where it's
He
at.
goes, well, I don't know where that came from. You know, and his wife was just looking at him like, you bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I was just like, oh, I knew when I saw that face, I go,
Yeah, you were like,
I fucked
fucked
up.
up.
Ah, my bad. Like, I looked at him, I gave him like a, my bad, dog, but like, what the fuck? We're not going to acknowledge the fucking bottle of vodka in the batteries.
Like somebody has to move it.
Yo,
I could have kept
so
it.
I told my boss, I'm like, what do we do with this? And he goes, keep it. And I go, so part of me, so I was like, okay, like a part of me was like, all right, like it's free bottle of vodka, you know what I mean? And this was like, mind you, this was like 23-year-old me.
Yeah.
So
okay.
23-year-old, you're saying fucking
got a
vodka,
fucking handle.
moonshine, whatever it is, right? I was like, oh yeah, we got a free bottle, turn up. And then I thought about it, I'm like, I don't know if I should trust this bottle. So I just poured it.
Been under a hood for.
But I poured it because I'm like, if this dude is going to the extreme lengths of putting a bottle in,
It's a good bottle.
It's a good bottle, but where has his mouth been?
Oh,
Right. So and it was already open. So if it was an unopened bottle of vodka, I would have took it. But this one already had.
you know he's been swigging.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't trust this dude. Like I don't want to trust this dude. Moral of the story is, kids, don't hide vodka in a battery terminal. Be an adult. Drink it all the way. That way you don't have to hide it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Be a pro.
Be a pro.
Chug it in one setting.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That way you
And
don't have to
then
hide it.
When you can't drive home because you just finished this whole bottle of vodka,
Call Julio. He'll pick you up.
call me so I can call you an Uber. Because once I'm home, I'm home.
Once he's home, nah, I'm not gonna get it. You know what I
I'm
mean?
definitely that guy, bro. I am that person who's like, fucking, if it's like 7:30 and I shower and I'm in my little fucking PJs and my slippers, bro, you call me, what's up, bro? Hey, come out. We have $100 for you to come waste. Like, nah, I'm good, bro.
Or you're like, damn, bro, I'm hella busy.
Like,
as
yeah,
as
bro,
you're laying there, you're like,
I
I'm
gotta
busy.
fucking edit a podcast, bro. I gotta write notes for my next podcast. What I'm really doing is
Me and my girl are
Law
going
and Order
through it,
SVU.
bro.
Dun, dun.
Yeah. Or I'm watching, bro. I'm in the middle of The Last of Us. Have you seen it, by the way?
I'm on episode 1.
I haven't even watched one episode.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's cool.
I'm not a big series guy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a big series guy. I will watch them though. Like one thing that I'm on right now. I don't know if you've been catching up with it or not, but
Kardashians?
no, no, but the good call.
My bad.
The Murdoch stuff.
Yeah, bro. So
Yeah.
I've been deep into Murdoch country.
Damn.
What do they
Damn.
call it? I've been deep into it for like
He goes deep, everybody.
for a year.
He goes deep.
They say deeper. I say I can't.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got.
Fucking leave.
You ever
Nah,
see it? You
don't
ever,
leave.
you ever hear the joke? I don't want to. I'm butchering his joke, but you ever hear the Andrew Schultz joke, where he goes, women. He's like, yo, you guys can say stuff during sex, like deeper, harder, and he's like, I can't. He goes, that's all I got. I don't got more dick. He goes, he's like, if you hold it open, I can lunge into it. He's like, maybe I can. He goes, I got scoliosis in my back. I can't. She goes, deeper. He goes, I ran out of dick. Like once it hits the end, he's like, that's it. He's like, I don't have no more dick. He's like, I can't just like,
unravel more.
I can't unravel more dick. You know what I mean? He's
There's more in here somewhere.
So he goes,
I can feel
oh
it,
shit,
but-
let me just roll out more dick. And he goes, yeah, you thought this was a beer belly? No, it's a pouch for my dick. Like, so it's a joke that he has said. I'm fucking it up.
It's
But,
funny
yeah,
though.
deeper.
On the topic of comedians,
Yeah.
Ralph Barbosa.
Barbosa.
What is it?
Barbosa.
I was
Yeah.
gonna call him Barbosa.
I've been
my bad.
hip to his shit lately. I've been getting on his shit.
He's
yeah.
fucking funny, dude. He's a funny young kid from
Texas,
Texas. Yes,
Dallas.
sir. Mexican kid.
Yeah.
He's on the Andrew Schultz podcast.
Yep.
I listened
I
to
checked
that
that one
whole
out, too.
podcast.
Yeah.
After that, I jumped to
Hilarious.
the HBO special.
Yep.
That he has.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hilarious. I saw his one of his little clips. His clips are hilarious, man. That's when you know, like, the video aspect of comedy and clips. It's so important right now.
Oh yeah.
It's wild. But he's talking about, yeah, I'm smoking with all my friends and shit, and they're kind of like dicks. They're pretty mean. He goes, we're hitting the weed and they get stoned, and my homie goes, yeah, all my real friends are either dead or in jail. And then he's like, what the fuck? Give me back my weed, bro. Like, what the fuck? It's just funny. And his facial expressions, his delivery, his timing, his cadence.
Yeah.
Bro, for a young kid like
For a
that,
youngin'.
to have it down like that, it's fucking pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But,
Did you catch the 5 minute? He had like a 5 minute thing at. He was on Jimmy Fallon. He was on Jimmy Fallon and he did like a 5 minute little stand up thing real quick. Oh man, it was good. 5 minutes, very very simple, nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Does he talk about his apartment lease?
Yeah,
in
he
that
talked
one?
the 13 month.
That one's
the
so
13
funny.
month lease.
Yeah, he's like,
oh my god, bro.
13th month lease, girl.
Yeah,
Drop it, you can keep it.
yeah. He goes. There was one line he said on it that was fucking hilarious. He goes, yeah, you know, like since I got my apartment, he's like, since I got my apartment and got my one piece of furniture, he's like, you know, that's all I've been able to afford. He goes, so now when I go to bars, he goes, can't really do much, you know. He's like, he's like, this most recent time, I mustered up the courage to go talk to a woman. He goes, I went up to her. He goes, what are you drinking? She's just like, Jack and Coke. And he goes, nice. He goes, and that's where the conversation ended. He's like, that's all I can afford. He goes,
Yeah,
you know,
that's hilarious. That delivery, bro.
And he goes, but you know what? I told myself, no, you got to give it a shot. He's like, so I went up to her and I went, can you buy me one? It was like fucking funny, dude.
Bro, and the jokes that he like, that's so simple. Like, it's literally he's breaking down an interaction and how broke he is, supposedly him.
Yeah.
But his story is pretty crazy. It's, you know, his family being a part of the cartel,
and everything. Yeah.
And like him not even being a part of it,
Yeah.
not understanding what
Being
was
a
going
barber,
on.
a fucking barber.
Yeah, dude,
A
out
barber,
of everything.
bro. Yeah.
He tried selling weed, did good at it. He's like, nah, not for me.
Hopefully he comes to Sac. You down to
Dude,
go?
sign me up, bro.
Yeah,
We'll buy
no,
tickets
yeah.
ASAP if he comes out here.
Ralph, let me know. Let us know if you're coming to Sac. We could check you out and have you on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll watch you,
If
bro.
y'all can bless us.
I'll find
know
you.
what I'm saying?
I'll
That'd be a
watch
good
you
one.
wherever you're at.
But bro, let's talk about you for a second.
Let's do it.
You know, we talked about the break. I talked about the break. You're back into it now. First episode back. He's back. You know what I mean? And now we're gonna be like going forward with it and everything. I kind of want to talk about a little bit about what you like, break down a bit of the episode when you were saying not feeling, not necessarily the need, but not I guess oversaturating or overcomplicating the podcast and getting back to the roots of it, like what you started it for, why you started it, and also making it about you for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's important. It sounds selfish, but
Yeah.
it's true. The only reason why we do these things is because we're low key narcissists.
Yeah,
you know, and we've used that to our advantage to help and put people on. Like I've heard so many artists, and I've got to know so many people. Maybe not directly, but indirectly through you and the podcast. Now I have a different follow. Now I'm tripping out on Back to the Basics barbershop.
Yeah.
I'm tripping out on the homie, the music that he just dropped. I don't want to butcher his name.
Devien?
Devien?
Yeah. Devien, yeah.
Yeah, so his whole album goes hard. If you guys haven't checked that out, it's Nothing Makes Sense Until It Does. It just dropped, and one of my favorite songs on there is Morning Coffee.
You like Morning Coffee? Let me tell you the one I was listening to.
I think that's a deep song for him. I think that he's talking about someone who means a lot to him and his family. And it just you can just hear the sincerity in that song, that it's like, damn. I'm going to ask you some questions about it, so I don't want to get too deep into it right now. But yeah, check him out, man.
Devien, yeah. That I liked Trust the Universe,
Yeah.
and I liked Here We Go Again.
Trust the Universe is his last song, right?
Yeah, that's the last one on the album. So, or I don't know I don't know if he's calling it an EP or the official. I want to say it's official album, you know. And it just came out. Nothing makes sense until it does. Y'all check that out. Yeah, we got to get him on again. So we got to get him. You know, it'd be good. It'd be a good collab episode.
I
Like
think
both
so,
of
too.
us have him on. You know what I mean?
I think we both have
Both of them, right? And we just like chop it up on both platforms. You know what I mean? Or whichever's best. I know he'll love that type of stuff. It's for indie artists, bro. Like it helps him out so much. You know what I mean? A simple repost and simple share. That's one thing. Credit to you that you do a lot. You do a lot of like reposts and shares.
Yeah, the people that I interact with, at least that I know somewhat, that I've had a conversation with in the DMs. A lot of them are out of Sacramento. Some of them from the LA area. But I like to put on people, or not. Like, I'm not putting anybody on. I'm just, we're just fucking conduits, bro. Like, you know, here you go. This is people that are putting out great shit. Like,
extending
check it out,
the
check
olive
it out.
branch, helping the reach, helping the audience grow.
Yeah.
Every single time, something is shared, that's a possibility for someone new to discover them.
Yeah, there was
right?
someone from back home who actually hit me up in the DMs. I posted I was promoting our merch. Check it out, fullcircle.shopify.com.
Just dropped the Kings edition.
Yeah,
Light the beam.
Yeah, Light the Beam, baby. They responded to one of my posts because I had Mark Lux, his song All That playing, and then the person who DM'd me they were like, hey, dude, I put this on when I was working out. That shit got me going, this, that, and the other. Like, tell them what, kudos, this, that, and the other. But they would have never known if we wouldn't have just had a conversation.
Yeah.
And to get back to the whole point of the question you asked me, it's very selfish for us to do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But in that, we try to give you as much of us as we can, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the person sitting across from us. Sometimes it's a solo podcast. Sometimes it's this here.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's very vulnerable too.
It's bro.
Very vulnerable.
That's exactly what I got. A lot of people saying thanks for the vulnerability, and P mentions it in the podcast. And honestly, I do not like to give that part of me up sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because it can get deep, bro. There's like real shit that you've been through, that I've been through, that we all go through, and like suffering in itself. And it's hard for us to look at ourselves in the mirror because maybe we went through something that we're not proud of.
Right.
Or, we have it so deep in our souls that we don't want to bring it up.
Yeah.
I think it's important to grow as a human, to look at those traumas and aspects in our life that we're not proud of, or that may have happened to us, without us wanting it, right? Or whatever it may be for anybody. There's a whole bunch of shit. There's a list of trauma that we can go through, but we're not going to. Everybody's is different.
Yeah.
But I think that's important. And for me personally, that's why I started the podcast, is because I went through so much shit growing up, mentally, physically, that as you grow up, you start to mask it, and you start to self-medicate, and you start to get away from who you truly are because you're trying to hide things deep down.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Very true.
So that's just me on my hippie shit. You know what I mean? That's just me on my hippie shit, really trying to grow as a human being.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where the podcast started, is like I was growing. I got away from my path. I took a step back, and hey, let's jump back on the path. That's one thing I preach all the time is we're all on a path in life. And sometimes we're caught up in this crazy ass momentum with work and family. You have a loved ones and kids and mothers and fathers and tias and aunts, that you forget what road you were on and where you're going, because you're giving so much of yourself to everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say that too about the vulnerability aspect of doing podcasts, right? Because especially when you're doing solo ones, because not a lot of people could do solo ones, right? Not a lot of people have that in them to just sit down and
it's almost
be
crazy.
It's
like
thoughts,
a crazy part of your brain. Yeah.
And that word, have a bit of narcissism. I've said that before too, you know what I'm saying? And I've been vocal about that too. Also staying true and going back to yourself I feel like it's cool. It's pretty crucial, because it's easy to be, swayed and pulled in different directions about like what you said about podcasts, like a feeling like, yo, I have to do this, or I have to have this, or I have to be able to compete with this and that, So it's easy to be pulled and swayed in different directions.
To adhere to the audience.
Right, to appease to this, to appease to that. But then, like you said, it's all about what makes me happy. How do I feel the most comfortable? How do I want to operate? What direction do I want to navigate this to? So on one hand, you could look at it like, how can I improve, right? Because there's definitely, you don't want to come back and just keep plateau, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there's still it's how do I improve, but at the same time, how do I make myself happy, right? It's one of the feedbacks that I was getting for the podcast too. It was just like, you should do more gossip stuff. You should do more this or talk about this. And I hear you. I can definitely do some gossip stuff, but I don't want to. This is a podcast, bro. This isn't a gossip podcast. I'm not gonna break down the newest, which is like, oh my God, did you hear about the fucking
Chris Rock getting slapped?
E-News, and then break it all down and have to give. Well, let me give you my official reaction. I don't need to give my opinion for everything. I don't need to give my official reaction for everything, because guess what? Sometimes I don't have an opinion. Sometimes I don't have a reaction. Yeah. And breaking news. This might throw some people off. Guess what? It's okay to not have a reaction. Yeah. Right? It's okay to not have an opinion. That doesn't mean you're wrong. And I don't want to make this podcast a gossipy thing. I do want to break down some stuff that I find interesting, right? I do want to talk about and get opinions on stuff that I'm like, yo, let's debate this, or what do you think about this, or how do you feel about that, But I don't want to make it about, oh, did you hear about the celebrity that had their third child?
But what you're saying is it's coming from a genuine interest from you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like when you're talking about breaking down the best producers, that's something that you have a an excitement for that you're into. Then
That's
you know these lists of producers, so that's something you want to talk about. You might have Kanye West in that conversation, but we're not breaking down Kanye West and his mental state. No, we're talking about his work, and his body of work, and what he, his process, whatever the fuck it may be.
Yeah,
but that's something that you want to do specifically, not because, oh, you should talk about Kanye West and how his meltdown's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about Kanye West's his top 3 albums. That's something I would like to break down. That's something I would like to talk about.
A lot of people like to break down negative aspects of people, and I'm like, fuck, bro, like fucking let's break down your negative aspects.
Yeah, sure.
Like fuck, that's fucked up. Like, and it's I don't know if it's, I guess it's, I don't know what, I'm not famous.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that life's like, but I can only imagine being that man who has like, multi-million, billion-dollar companies in the spotlight all day, being portrayed as a fucking evil person in one, a crazy person in another article, and then as the musical genius in one. So he had like I couldn't imagine it, bro. Like I get irritated as it is with basic shit. For him to act the way he's acting, like I don't know,
it'd be tough, right?
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like it is what it is.
Yeah,
I'd be fucking going nuts too.
Yeah,
shit, all that pressure.
Or in sport, like I said, it could be, you can equate it to whatever path or avenue you want. We could talk about music, and because I love music, right? I could talk about music very fucking openly and very simple. That comes naturally, and that's easy to me because I actually indulge in that, right? I could talk about sports. I indulge in sports. I can talk sports. I can go back and forth with the best of them. Don't matter to me. What do you want to talk about? I could talk about, like if we talk about topics, I'm not gonna do the cheesemess stuff where that it's too centered around Hollywood, because that's just not me. That's not my style. But I can talk about like, oh shit, like what's the topic? Damn, did you know that there's some crazy foul shit going on in the Middle East right now that that's getting suppressed or some shit like that? I'm down to talk about that. You know what I mean?
Same.
So it just depends on what direction we go and staying true to that and getting away from all the Hollywood stuff, And I'm not even Hollywood, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think any of us are. We're not cut from that cloth
I am
at
not
all.
Hollywood, but it's easy to talk about sports too.
Yeah. No, it's whatever you want to bring to the table, and as long as you're staying truthful to yourself, I think you know that in your heart. You know what I mean? And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Yeah, staying true to yourself, like wearing a Celtics hat.
What do you mean?
Just Celtics.
What, you got to fucking hitting on my fucking double line right here?
No, I'm just I don't speak of sport. I'm just saying I'm a diehard Lakers fan.
That's cool.
And rivalry.
Yeah. Something happened in 08?
08 and then 09, and then we have how many championships? 16.
I don't know how many you guys have. I remember Ray Allen, the big three, and Kobe walking off. Shout out Kobe.
I just remember we have the same amount. We're tied number 1 for most champions in NBA history.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, but I know that last time you guys won, it hasn't been in the last 20 years. So, what's
Okay, was that long ago?
No, it was 2000. I was joking.
I was gonna say
2008. Yeah.
I was gonna say, wait, no, that's I'm trying to just calculate.
You just said what happened to 08. I mean,
No, I'm easily swayed. There's no way it didn't happen. What the fuck? It didn't happen. I thought I was there. Okay, whatever.
No, you guys just lost to the Warriors, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Very young team though, bro. I'm very excited to see what they have in store, bro.
Oh my gosh,
Tatum's coming into his own, bro.
He's easily becoming
Jalen
a star.
Yeah.
Jalen? That was a name. It wasn't an official one, but that was an option name that I was gonna name my son. Jalen.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I like that name.
It's a nice name.
I like the name. Yeah.
Jalen Brown. You gonna name him Jalen Brown?
I think no, not after Jalen Brown. No disrespect, but you know what I mean.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was gonna be Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
No, my bad.
I do like that name though, but I do fuck with this current Celtics, this roster.
Very young.
I do feel like they're just. You hear this kind of sounds like a generic answer because you hear it so many fucking times. But when the people say like they're just one piece away from winning a championship,
I honestly think that piece is growth. In those two players.
Yeah, I would say it doesn't have to
Tatum.
it doesn't physically have to be a person.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe it's a different coach. Maybe a different coach.
I think I agree with that. I think for any team to be successful, they have to have a foundation, right? And they have to have chemistry and they have to have trust, whether it's with players, whether it's with coaches. You have to want to play for that coach. You have to want to play with the players around you.
Well, perfect example. Look at the Nets. Look at the Nets with Steve Nash. Steve Nash was the head coach. And look, where are they at now?
I don't even know.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk about them.
KD is in Phoenix. Kyrie's in Dallas. Steve Nash is not the head coach anymore.
Yeah.
Like, the team has just been dissected. You know what I mean? Like, what's going to...
And then that fucking sucks for the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
got
Like,
screwed over.
you think that, like, I mean, people in Brooklyn are probably pumped about KD coming, you know, Steve Nash as a fucking coach.
Bro, and think about this, too. The Nets took a chance on KD. Remember, he came off...
his injury.
He came off a torn Achilles. When the Nets signed him, they knew for the first year, we're not going to have him. And not only are we not going to have him, but we're going to pay him for the first year on and pay for his recovery, the PT,
Well, that's cold.
everything. Think about that. Think about, like, all right, we're gonna take a 4-year deal, and we're gonna get him, and we're gonna sign him. And the
played
first
1
year,
year?
he's not even gonna. The 1 year, he's not even. He got paid a full salary for
But
a
he
year
did play 1 year, right?
with the Nets.
Yeah.
Multiple years.
More like 2?
This was his. I want
Or
to
was
say
this his third year
This
up
was
in the
his
contract?
third year, and then so he had a. As far as I know, I don't have the exact. You know, I'm not fucking ESPN, but as far as I know, this was his third year, and he had a player option, and he opted out.
Okay, so his 1 year he didn't play, and then he played for 2 years. So instead of that
This
fourth
was
year,
his
he
third,
opted to get traded.
Because the first year is when he had. His first year, he came back. He had Kyrie, and I think James Harden was there too. And then second year, Harden was gone. Right?
And he got traded during the trading.
Yeah, to Philly
block,
because he's in Philly now. And then and then Kyrie was going back and forth with it. He wasn't playing, not playing. They were requesting a trade. And then this year was the third year and didn't even finish it because he got traded by the trade deadline.
To the Mavs.
Yeah.
I think that's a good fit
Or
for
Phoenix
him.
Suns.
Oh, you're talking about KD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Kyrie is, you know, I mean, I think I don't know if the Kyrie Luka thing is gonna work out. You know, two
either.
ball dominant players.
Usually two superstars in a team don't really work well.
Yeah, I mean, historically, there's it's tough. Like, you can get it. You know,
Kobe and Shaq.
Um,
But for how long, you know?
For how long exactly? I mean, even you can even go further back as you know, when LeBron won with the Cavaliers with Kyrie, those were two superstars right there.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So, but think about that. When was that? 2017? 2017?
A while back, yeah.
That was a while back, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Sports-wise, I mean, I think the Suns, like I was talking to PZ when he was here about it, I think the Suns are you know, the favorites to win it all this year. I mean, how could you not? You got KD,
Booker.
Chris Paul, Devin Booker. Like, you got to win. DeAndre Ayton. Like,
yeah, you just got to put your fucking... Like, I mean, what I saw on that Celtics team when they had the big three, you had Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, fucking Scalabrine, Eddie House.
You talking about the dude from Greenfield?
Scalabrine.
Yeah, Francione Drive.
Francione Drive. What's
Remember? You don't remember?
Matthew?
I think.
Scalabrine?
No, remember? Because I was talking about... Remember? Because I was saying, like, how... Yeah, there it
Matthew
is.
Scalabrine, bro.
There it is. You feel me?
Do you fucking watch The Sopranos?
No, but I'm wearing the Soprano. No, this is
Goodfellas.
That's Goodfellas. Yeah, close enough.
No. Scalabrine was this like 6'1" white dude who just bust threes in the fucking corner, bro. Boom, boom.
Legend.
But they put what I think they did on that team, which was a beautiful thing, especially with the coach like Doc Rivers. I mean, everybody put their egos aside.
Yeah.
And I think they were a whole team. They were a fundamental basketball team, regardless of the superstardom that they've had. Because I mean, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, they weren't in the peak. They weren't in their peak years anymore, but they got it fucking done. That's what was crazy to me. Is like, it's crazy, bro. It gives me chills just thinking about it. Ray Allen coming off a fucking screen,
beat us by 30. No big deal.
Yeah, no, not really.
No big deal.
Yeah, it was cool. It was
How about
close.
that Game 7 though? How about that Game 7 2010? What?
2010. Oh, that's when he came back. I remember that.
That's when Game 7.
Yeah, nah. I try to block out bad memories. We talked about trauma a little bit earlier, so
Dude, I'm traumatized. You know what I mean, I'm traumatized.
nah, bro, you're traumatized. We're fucking Raider fans.
Y'all can't
dog.
see it, but there's a Kobe poster right here.
Yeah, me and this man are Raider fans.
That is true.
Talk about trauma.
Oh, that's 20. That's the longest relationship I've ever been in.
Catch me on a Sunday when the Raiders are winning and they lose in the third. They let the fucking lead go in the third quarter and they fucking suck balls in the fourth.
And just got rid of Derek Carr. Well, no, he's still technically.
So,
What's the latest on him?
I think his they were trying to like work out a deal where he gets paid.
Well, they released him. He's a free agent.
Oh, okay.
They released him.
Well, I thought
he
all
revisited.
my news is from Instagram, so my shit just all motherfuckers lying.
So the last update that I ever got from him was that
He text you?
Yeah, we're actually
DC?
He's in my top 8.
Is he
He's on my MySpace. He's on my top 8.
They're in prayer group.
Yeah.
Shout out
I meet up with
fucking
him in
Derek
Fresno every once in a while.
Right there at the at the doghouse to get those fucking tri-tip sandwiches.
Nah, dude, we actually meet at the Dairy Queen. We just get some chili dogs, just some glizzies.
He looks like a glizzy type of guy.
He looks like a glizzy type of guy.
Yeah, eyeshadow, everything.
Yeah. But the last update I got from him was just that he had visited the Jets.
Ooh.
He went to tour the Jets.
I can see him as a Jet.
I can't see him as a New Yorker though.
Fuck no, Derek Carr, he's from the country.
A New Yorker?
Hey, I'm from New York. Hey,
New Yorker.
Hey, give me a little bit more marinara for my pasta.
Hey, I'm walking here. That's that. You're gonna hear him. Hey,
Bing bong.
I'm throwing the football here.
What's the other one? He's if I'm bringing the turkey to dinner, best believe I'm up in her. Bro,
What the fuck?
you've never seen that? You've never seen that?
No.
Oh my God. Side Talk NYC.
Side Talk NYC, yeah.
Yeah. They recorded this fucking construction worker.
Hey,
like,
yo.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Or what are you bringing to Thanksgiving? He's like, best believe if I'm bringing the turkey to dinner, I'm gonna be up in her. And I'm just like, whoa, bro, that's fucking.
The one that I sing was the if you see these dogs in your front porch, just know I'm in there. Or is it?
I think it's the same dude, bro.
If you see the dogs in the front porch, just believe. Oh, I think it is that I'm up in her. Bing bong.
Yeah. Bing bong.
I want to do something like that.
Hey yo. Yeah,
Hey,
honestly, that's just fire.
You look like you can't actually. We both can't. We're not supposed to be eating hot dogs, by the way. How's your health? Actually, how's the stomach stuff? Good.
Ooh, good question.
Good. You know what?
I actually got I got COVID
When?
fucking yesterday, bro.
Just like,
No,
Hey,
I got COVID fucking I don't know, like 3 months ago. I got COVID. It fucking beat my ass, like it beat me up pretty bad, and it triggered my ulcerative colitis.
It did?
Yeah, bro.
Luckily when I got it, the 2 times I got it, I ate nothing.
Yeah, so it triggered my ulcerative colitis. Honestly, when I get sick pretty bad, it usually does trigger. Like I get like a little flare up.
That makes sense.
But it fucked me up. So I was done with COVID, and then I couldn't eat nothing. So I was dehydrated. I had to go to the ER. Get a little fucking little nutrients. They hooked me up with a little liquid bag. Felt way better.
You got the liquid IV?
Yeah, they fucking poured 2 packs in this little fucking bag and then do a little drip system. It was crazy though, because I was in the ER, right? We were waiting, and I had COVID, and they put me in they take me to this room, and it says break room. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then we go in the break room, and they sit down. Sit down. And I'm like, hey, why are we in the break room? And the guy goes like, yeah, ever since COVID, like we don't have a place. We're like so overrun now that this is.
They just put you in a room. Like, yeah, just go drink some water.
Chill over there.
Right.
And then they bring this like older man who's like 95 next to me, and I'm just like, oh fuck it, he has COVID too, and I'm just like, oh fuck, bro. Like it was just it was kind of, no disrespect to the man, but I was just like, bro, like, are you putting me in here to die? Like, what the fuck, man? Put on some tunes.
Give me someone interesting to talk to.
Yeah, nah, he was fucking. He was
OG.
He was from Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Yes, he had Vans on, Santa Cruz sweater on, and
he's like, I'm just trying to go surfing, bro.
95 years old. Clear conversations. Got up and walked. He was handling COVID like a champion. But other than that, I got a little flu a couple weeks ago, just because I think it was going around. And other than that, I'm pretty good, bro.
That's good.
No, you know, life fucking throws its curveballs and it's gonna hit you with shit, but
that's good.
You gotta work through it.
I'm healthy. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's good, bro.
That's good. That's good. No, I've been
that was
good.
My next question.
I was gonna get there. No, I'm sorry. I think the you know when like the moment when when your face starts getting a little warm.
Oh fuck, that's me. Do I look red? I feel the same way. That's why.
No, you feel like it's like because I haven't ate all day yet. Like I snacked on a coffee. What's it?
How do you snack on coffee, dog?
No, it's like
I snacked on coffee.
No, I had the coffee cake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I had like 2 pieces of a coffee cake, and I want to say like I ate 1 strawberry. So I haven't really ate. And
I would say nutrients right there, bro.
And but I was drinking and then I was slamming. So on top of these 2, I was slamming
you got one ahead of me.
Yeah, I was slamming these into ranch water, and so I was listening right here, and I just feel warmth just start from my nose and slowly go to my face. I'm like, oh, it's kind of starting to hit.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, I'm healthy. Thank you for asking. But one thing I do want to get into before.
But are you healthy?
No,
Have you
I'm
been
healthy.
everything
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm healthy. No issues. These
I'm an asshole over here.
these lbs are stacking up. You feel me? These pounds. They might call me A the pound. And
Okay, J the
you know
pound,
what
A
I'm
the
saying?
pound.
A
Let's
the
go.
pound. The weight's getting up
Gotta
there
make a t-shirt.
unintentionally. Before I forget, and because fucking I just realized we're already at an hour and shit.
Okay.
I want to get into some hypocritical or reasonable.
Okay,
so
let's go. New segment on the podcast.
Yes.
Ooh, excited.
So you're here for this one, right? So we have a new segment on the podcast.
me tuck in my shirt.
Where we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna give you a topic, and we're gonna talk whether we believe it's hypocritical or reasonable.
Ooh, okay.
Right.
Ooh, honestly, this is a fun topic.
Thank you.
There's another top. I listen to a podcast. It's a comedy podcast. It's called The Legion of Skanks.
Oh yeah, I know what they are.
And they go, who's most justified?
Ooh.
And I'm not gonna. You guys can go ahead and check out the Legion of Skanks podcast, and you guys can listen to their segment.
We're about to go in on this one. Okay, I'm gonna chug this ranch water. You still have some right there too. So this is how we know we're gonna make it more interesting and it's gonna be fun. Is because we're gonna make sure we got some drinks in this. Okay.
We're also gonna do a couple back squats and deadlifts.
Hey yo.
Hey yo.
Okay.
Hey, real quick.
Okay.
If you guys haven't seen The Sopranos,
Yeah.
I'm barely on game.
Don't. I'm just kidding.
The disrespect. He feels warm in his face, and all of a sudden I'm chopped liver. Hey. No,
Don't.
but the fucking Sopranos, bro. James Gandolfini. He's Tony Soprano. He's the main fucking character, bro.
Clip it.
The dialogue this man has, bro. It's so crazy. He's just a fucking. He's like.
He's a moolie.
No. Yo, I didn't say that.
He's a fucking moolie.
I'm not even gonna get into it. I got a whole bunch of slurs for everybody, but that's on a different podcast. Catch me on mine, Full Circle Mentality podcast. I can throw no hard words here on the
Hey yo.
hypocritical.
Don't worry, we're
Anyway,
not
check
censored.
out The Sopranos. It's a very good show. The way they did it, especially for it being one of those shows in the 2000s, it was great. Dialogue. The main character, Tony, him being this fucking mafia boss, showing his other side as well, what he deals with on the inside. It's pretty crazy, pretty relatable to...
Hot take?
Hot take. Check out this fucking Sopranos today.
Hot take?
Oh, his hot take.
Hot take?
Oh,
overrated.
He hasn't even seen it.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I thought he said hot cakes. I said, yeah, give me one. Give me two.
Okay.
Let me get the syrup.
You ready for the first
A
one?
hot cake's a pancake, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You ready for the first one?
Yeah. What's the question?
Okay. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to ask
right.
you whether you think it's hypocritical or reasonable.
reasonable, okay.
And we're going to go back and forth and see what our opinions are, okay?
Gotta think
Ready?
about that for a second. Hypocritical or reasonable? Let's go.
Ready?
Fire it.
Philadelphia has a statue of Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa.
Adrian.
Do you think it's hypocritical of them?
You gotta get in there, Rock.
Or is it reasonable? Is it hypocritical because they have actual champions, real professional boxers from Philly who have become world champions? Or do you think it's reasonable given the stature
And the
how
magnitude.
the magnitude and how fucking huge and big the fucking Rocky series have been? Is it reasonable or hypocritical?
Me on the outside looking in,
Accusations.
keep the statue up.
Keep
Keep it up.
So, but
Is it still up?
no. Is it hypocritical or is it reasonable?
Oh, fuck. See, you put me in a box. I don't like to be in a box. I would say, all right, bro, fucking clip that last one out. All right. I would say it's hypocritical only because this is a fictional character coming out of a movie. If you have people who are true heroes, you know, in a sense, and there's boxing champions that have actually accomplished the accolades that this imaginary person, Rocky Balboa, you know, did on the movie screen.
Okay.
It's like, hey, you know, let's pay respects to the actual champions and give people a different hope, a real hope, not this fucking movie hope.
Okay.
I find it a little hypocritical. I guess I checked box A.
Okay. Ready? I'm gonna go with.
Sir?
I'm gonna go with reasonable.
Oh,
Hear
bro,
me out.
you baited me.
Hear me out.
He wanted me to
hear me
do-
out.
he
I'm gonna
wanted-
go with reasonable only because I agree. Well, for one, before I give my reason, I agree with you. I agree with you as far as the city itself. You have an actual champion. Why the fuck do you have a statue up, right? But I'll tell you why I think it's reasonable, because I think the reach of Rocky, the persona of Rocky, internationally, globally, has a bigger reach than, no disrespect, the boxers there that came out of Philadelphia. So that statue is not just because it'd be like to commemorate and be like, oh, look at this is who he was. It's actually turning into a tourist site, like a tourist
So it's
thing.
bringing
It's
revenue into the
internationally.
town.
A lot of people know Rocky.
Yeah.
Than the local champion.
I mean, if you even watch like little YouTube motivational clips,
Yeah.
His voice is on there. You got to get up and fight.
Adrian. Adrian.
Make that clip of him and his fucking
when you really think
his
about
brother-in-law. That
Bro,
shit, bro. His brother-in-law is
when you really think about it,
garbage.
Rocky just sounds like he's drunk 24/7.
Well, he's punch drunk for sure.
He sounds like he was just leaving the bar.
Hey, yo, Adrian.
Hey, yo, Adrian.
Hey, yo, Mick. I can't do it, Mick. Rocky,
I don't want to do it.
you were high off cocaine last night and a bunch of vodka.
Adrian.
You got to go in there and do it. Okay, Rock.
The
this is
world
for
ain't
you.
all. The world ain't all sunshine and flowers. That's some that's a drunk person talking. Nobody sober is gonna talk like that.
No
the world is
way.
all. The world ain't sunshine and flowers.
Yeah.
That's someone who's deep in their thoughts off a half a pint of whiskey or a full pint of whiskey
I was going to
deep.
say, bro.
Yeah.
Full.
That's someone who's been indulging in Maker's 48 or 38. You know what I mean? Maker's Mark. Maker's Marker.
Yeah.
And who has been thinking about some shit and is just now getting out. The world ain't all sunshine and flowers. You know
And
what I
they
mean?
caught that clip, him walking out of a fucking bar talking to some random person, I'm sure.
That's some shit your drunk dad would tell you.
That's
Listen,
some shit
son,
your drunk homie would tell you.
The world ain't all fucking, you know what I mean?
You'd sit me down and be like, let me tell you something I've been through, Julio. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. I've served.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. You know, no disrespect to you at all. But
That's what
no,
I'm saying.
that's something that a homie would tell
He's
you.
definitely not sober.
So
He's not sober.
do you think, oh, fuck. What if he was really just fucking a drunk on the set the whole time and that's what they got? That's I mean, hey, it's fucking.
That's amazing acting then.
No, yeah.
The fact that you can keep a straight face and not laugh.
Well,
I get buzzed and I'm giggling. like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. That's what I threw that in there. So imagine being drunk like that and still keeping a straight face and remembering some shit.
well, you got to think about like a lot of the actors who.
You know how many
had
times he
drug
showed up to
addiction.
set and he was just like, "Hold up, I'm boxing."
He's like, hey, hold on.
Hold on, this is a boxing movie.
Hey, what? I thought we were fucking talking
What
about
is
sunshine
this?
and rainbows.
Yeah.
You know?
He's like, "I'm boxing today."
Oh man, that was a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it hypocritical or reasonable? So your take is that it's reasonable.
I'm saying it's reasonable. You're saying it's hypocritical of them.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that one.
A little bit. I mean, especially,
Okay.
I mean, for the people of Philadelphia. I wonder how many times they go to the Rocky statue.
Okay, true. Okay, next one. Speaking about boxing, we're gonna keep it in boxing. Shall we talk about some Jake Paul? Just talk about some Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Let's talk about some Jake Paul. Okay.
My
Here's
face
one.
says it all. Jake Paul. I'm
Here's one. Okay. Do you think it's?
like, what?
I'm not gonna
Jake
say
Paul?
haters, but we'll call them. I hate saying. I guess I'm one of them, but we'll say critiques, critics. Right? They say. They were saying, do you think it's Do you think it's hypocritical or reasonable for the quote unquote haters to say when they say like, oh, like he's washed, or like, oh, I knew once he boxed an actual boxer, he was gonna lose. Let me specify on that. Prior to him fighting Tommy Fury, so for those of you that don't know who the fuck Jake Paul is or don't keep up with his boxing stuff, he went 8 rounds with one Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is a half brother of Tyson Fury,
The Gypsy King.
the Gypsy King, the lineal and undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Not just the city, the world, Craig.
The world, Craig.
The world,
Top flight
Craig.
security at the world,
The motherfucking
Craig.
world, Craig. And they fought and went to the distance. And I watched it, and I feel like I thought it was pretty easy to score. I did feel Tommy Fury won.
Outpointed him.
Yeah, I think at most, I gave Jake Paul 2 rounds out of 8 at most. That's just my personal opinion. And but now, ever since that's happened, now there's just been a bunch of like, I'm not gonna say backlash, but it was just like They're like, "Oh, I
Bunch
told
of
you,
told you so's.
I told
Yeah.
you," right? So, is it hypocritical or reasonable for them? And let me give more insight on this one. So, the reason why I'm asking if it's hypocritical of them, because prior to him fighting Tommy Fury, right? Prior to him going to the distance and everything, those same people that were just like, "Told you so," were saying, "Yo, we want to see them against Canelo. We want to like, I want to see him fight so and so. Like,
Yeah, I don't know
I
about
want to
that.
see him this, you know." And then he fights a boxer and is like, "Yeah, see, I told you so, right?" Or is it reasonable for them to be like, "Yeah, I told you so," because is it something they already had known? Is it something that they were just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it something that they're just
I think those people who are saying that are being hypocritical because like you're on. It's kind of like a bandwagon thing. You're like, you're on the bandwagon. Oh, he lost. Well, I fucking told you.
yeah.
You know, you're not really. I really don't have a. I really don't.
You-
I don't
you-
care for Jake Paul too much, only
Yeah.
because the antics and how
Yeah,
he
same.
how he builds himself up. Like he doesn't have to be so negative, talk shit about everybody. But I get it. You know, you're the face of your company, and you know he's copying the Conor McGregor script, I think.
Yeah.
And he propelled himself in that way. Now I think he's exposed himself because he did lose and he did fight a real boxer. I mean, a lot of people say that Tommy Fury isn't really. He's still an amateur boxer as well.
Yeah.
So I think he fought somebody at a skill level that is the closest that he
Can get to
that
actual
that he can
professional
get.
boxer.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
if you were to put him in a ring with Canelo,
It's like, come
or
on now.
or what is his name, Michael Plant, or Caleb Plant, whatever the fuck his name is, Plant. It wouldn't be a fucking contest, bro. It'd be like
Yeah.
they'd be knocked out in the second round. I know disrespect to Jake Paul, but you only can do so much in a small matter of time, especially
Right.
when these boxers have been boxing since they were fucking like 8 or 9.
Exactly.
So to everybody who, yeah, I think they're a little hypocritical for it. Like either you're on someone's side or you're not. I think
Yeah.
you can't be on the fence.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be. You can be where the fuck you want.
I'm with that too.
It's hypocritical though. It's hypocritical. I don't like the guy necessarily.
Yeah, I'm not exact. I don't follow him. I'm not, you know.
Yeah, I'm not on
checking-
his train or nothing
Yeah,
like that.
I'm not buying any of his stuff, but you know, respect to him for doing that. But I'm just
Yeah, because
not my cup of tea.
he's a young kid who
Yeah.
used his platform to his advantage, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean, fucking more power to you, bro. Like you got this fight with an actual boxer. You fought Tyrone Woodley. You fought Ben Askren. Who
Anderson
else?
Silva.
Anderson Silva. These people are notable,
A 45 Anderson Silva.
and they're notable. Like if you were to put any of those men in an actual UFC ring with him, oh man,
Oh, yeah.
fucking retired or not,
yeah,
that man's
Different
going
sport.
down. There's a
Different
fucking
sport.
ankle being broken, an arm being broken.
Different sport.
So that's where I'm at though. Like when I think about it, I'm like, is that even fair? Like how are you gonna fucking hype yourself up off people who don't even box, dog?
Yeah,
So yeah, I guess it's hypocritical for them.
I'm gonna go with hypocritical as well. I do agree. I think it's
Tell
hypocritical
me.
of them because it's at first they're just like, well, because again, the first they're like, well, we want to see him against Canelo. We want to see him against Caleb Plant. We want to see him against
Gervonta Davis.
We want to Gervonta Davis, Brian Garcia, Benavidez, the Charlo brothers, like all these. Like, we want to see him against so and so, right? They're reaching for the high of highs, right? And then when he fights someone who's a professional boxer, you know, but you know that's maybe not as deep in their career, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but definitely respectable. When you finally fight someone, and then it just turns into like, psh, yeah, see, told you he wasn't this, told you he wasn't that. And it's like it's very hypocritical for the haters.
But
to
at
do
the
that.
same time, he stood in the ring and he went the distance with another amateur fighter. He didn't get it on points. I mean, you said you only gave him 2 rounds. I mean, I think.
Well, remember he's pro though. They're both pro, like on their record, commissioned, sanctioned, everything. They're pro fighters. Like they're like Jay. I think he was 6-0, and Tommy Fury was 8-0 as professionals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like Tommy Fury had more in the amateur circuit. He had more amateur fights as opposed to Jake. Jake didn't have any amateur. I mean, actually, he did have amateur fight when he fought. What's his name? When he fought, who was the first dude he fought? He fought.
Before Ben Askren?
I think they had headgear on too. Yeah, before Askren, before Nate Robinson, it was one other dude. It was like 4 rounds, I want to say.
Oh, he fought Nate too, huh?
Yeah, he fought Nate Robinson.
That's fucked up, bro. He
Right.
put him on his face, bro.
Yeah.
Little ass Nate Robinson.
So he did his Tyron
No
too.
disrespect, bro, but Nate Robinson, bro, that's fucked up, bro.
Not the dunk champion, not the NBA
Play
dunk
one on one
champion.
with him. I make you look silly. You gotta get your bag back, Nate. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
I had you really
That's
high.
right.
then
Oh,
you
and he
remind-
played for the Celtics too.
Yep.
Y'all just trash.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you.
I was trying to think about something to say. I was like, damn.
No, I'm fucking with you.
The record's better than yours.
Okay, next one. Next hypocritical reasonable. Okay. Do you think it is hypocritical
Yep.
of us too?
For what?
Do you think it's hypocritical of now mind you, we're gonna have our bias, right? Do you think it's hypocritical
Never biased.
of us to talk about consistency and then take a break? Or do you think it's reasonable?
That's something that I was struggling with when I
Really?
was off. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I going to preach full circle mentality? How am I going to tell people to like not let up and be relentless in your grind and not to take any excuses, no excuses, this, that, and the other. But fuck, that shit weighs on you.
Yes, it does.
It weighs on you, bro. Like,
Yes, it does. And I'm glad that you're even able to say that.
Yeah, it weighs
Some people
on
be
you,
like,
bro.
psh, nah. Psh.
Nah, bro.
We're
It's
able to say it.
it's something that I had to deal with and I had to address personally because it's like my whole brand is built on that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what full circle.
Yeah.
I go into what it means to me on my episode, on my podcast. So check it out if you want to. But
Yes.
yeah, dude, like it's hard to be consistent. It's hard to be a good boyfriend. It's hard to be a good father. It's hard to be a good podcaster. It's hard to do good at your job. Like day in and day out, it's hard. And sometimes you need a break, or sometimes you need to, just recollect the pieces that you may have fucking spilled all over the place without you realizing it.
Correct.
I think it's a balance. But in the same token, I wasn't just having my time off and just having my feet up and not doing anything.
Right.
I found a new passion. I started collecting hats. I started hustling with these hats and fucking getting shit shipped from Spain, shipped from the East Coast here, and then I'm shipping back out. And it's like, I was never stagnant. I just took a break from the podcast. So yeah, it's hypocritical of me to say that. I think it's hypocritical for me to, put my hat on being relentless and not giving up and then taking time off. It is hypocritical to say that, but it is very important in your life to have a balance. So, what you do with your word is what you do with your word.
Yeah, true.
And if you are able to take that break and come back stronger and better than ever, then maybe you were wrong.
True.
Maybe that relentless grind isn't the way.
I go back and forth on this one. And the reason why I brought it up and the reason to say it's not so much to be like call us out. You know what I mean?
Can't, bro.
It's not so much to call us out. But I also want to, it goes back to when I talk about the vulnerability of it. The vulnerability aspect is being vulnerable
It's gay.
is
I'm sorry, I had to drop it on you, bro. Hey, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. We both want to be stand-up comedians in our future life, so we're gonna knock that off our bucket list soon. That's my first joke.
It's so fucking
What do you call?
natural. It's so easy. It just flows.
No, yeah, it's the easiest joke, bro. We've been saying it since we were 7. What is that? What are those shoes for? Those look gay. Like, and hey, you know what?
It is not coming from a spot of hatred, bro.
No,
like, let us
not at
fucking
all.
live,
That's
dude.
the thing. Like,
That's
bro,
the thing.
we grew up in the fucking hood, bro.
Come on now, yeah.
With a bunch of kids from the fucking country, like black kids, white kids, majority Mexicans. We didn't understand.
It's funny because you said what I was thinking out loud.
Damn.
Oh man. What I was gonna say though, cancel him. Don't cancel. I didn't say that. Cancel.
I fucking said it, bro.
He's canceled. No.
What I was
take my
shit off Spotify. I'll take my
about
shit down.
about the vulnerability aspect of it is that we get to get it's also putting the stuff in the forefront and acknowledging it, right? I'm in the same exact boat as you. The podcast is called Hypocritical AF. This topic is built off Hypocritical AF. I have been in here consistently talking about being consistent, right? I've talked about how
And fucking hats off to you because you've done it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, to an extent. I've done it enough to where I can tolerate, if that makes sense. So I've talked about putting it, and I've said it, no matter what, I'm going to record it here. No matter how many hours of sleep I've lost, I'm going to be right here. And no matter how tired I am or what's going on in my personal life, when things were rocky, when things weren't the best, I'm still going to be recording right here, right? I don't care if I totaled my car or if I lost this person in my life or whatever it is, I'm still going to record, right? So I've done all those things. Why take a month off then, right? So I can see why in one aspect you can look at it as hypocritical, right? I can understand where you're coming from. Not saying you, I'm saying people in general. But I'm going to rock with reasonable. And the reason why I say it's reasonable is because in order for me, taking that break made me want to come back here and get back to being consistent, right? So it's reasonable for me to take that break, and it's not hypocritical. I feel like, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but it's more, I think of it as reasonable because it's the reality of it, right? We can say how much time you have to be consistent, but there's no way to measure consistency. So you can say every week. You can say every year. You can say every month, right? But as long as you're being consistent with that message, right? So yeah, I might have taken the 4 weeks off, but I'm back. Now I'm consistent with it again. And if you look at the overall consistency message, it's like in the big scope of things, like if you talk about a year, how much time was taken off versus how much time was actually being used and put on, one's going to outweigh more than the other, right? So I was more active in podcasting than I wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's reasonable, and you can even if you take a step back and remove the podcast title from it and it just equate it to anything, you'll find places where people take breaks and takes gaps too.
Yeah.
Right? It's just life.
Yeah, like a professional fighter isn't always training for a fucking fight.
Yeah. They're not every single week. When they say I'm always in the gym, I guarantee you
they are not always in the gym.
They're not always in the gym. I'm always in the studio, bro. I live in the studio. I guarantee you, you're not always in the studio. Bro, every single day I'm in the studio.
Can you afford to live in the studio?
There's artists that go every single day I'm in the studio. I guarantee you, they're not every single day in the studio. Now, mind you, they might be working on something that's music related, but they're not gonna be in the studio every
Their consistency might lie with 2 albums dropped every year. You know, and that's where their consistency.
Yeah, who's measuring?
Yeah, who's measuring fucking how many times J. Cole was in what does it matter?
Yeah, who's measuring how many fucking fire albums he dropped? Because I know.
I was gonna say that's where you measure that person. I think.
Yeah.
Is what is he putting out? Is it that great consistency that we're used to? You know, I think that's how you judge an artist sometimes. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, you don't want to judge anybody, but fuck, you notice when an artist is like, damn, that album kind of was trash. Mm-hmm. But then again, it might not be trash. It might not be trash to the artist. That's just where they were in that headspace. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's all subjective. I think a lot of these labels and things we try to put on ourselves, it's all subjective.
True. Yeah, man.
True.
2 Chainz. Bro. I think we
ask me more questions. I'm not done yet.
You want to keep going? Because I can, but I was thinking I wanted to close off with actually. I think we hit. You know, everything that I wanted to hit as far as hypocritical as far as hypocritical or reasonable, and our life updates and everything. But I would love to close out with, if you could just break down a little bit, hemorrhoids. No, just kidding. No,
I got some info on them.
no. The hat game.
Ooh,
tell me about the hat game, and kind of just discovering. I guess is it safe to say like this newfound passion of it?
Yeah, I would say so. Hats are fucking dope, bro. I've always been into hats since I was a young kid.
Yeah.
But like finding this new community of people who are selling and buying hats. And they're so interested in the stitching and the actual brand and the tag on the hat and that might tell you how it might fit for you.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Like this hat that I'm wearing right now, I won it in a raffle, right? And it's called a D line, so it's a double line. It's white outlined on the green line, right? Like so, it's the green and then we got another one right now. Yeah. So it's a D line. Right, you don't see this is very clean black dome NBA hit on the side right over here. $200 hat.
Damn,
I won it in a raffle for $25.
Sheesh.
You know, and it's just like it's a vice. It's your vice. You know what I mean? People are into shoes and they'll drop $1,000 on shoes, $600 on shoes. I'm into the hats. One thing I do know about the hat community is that for the most part, everybody is pretty accepting and everybody's new to it. Like some people are petty though. Some people get a hat or they'll sell a hat without telling you all the little minor details. And you're like, bro, I paid you $200 for this hat. And there's a fucking moth hole in the back and there's a rip right here on the brim. Like, what the fuck? You know, that's a lot of money to spend. And so sometimes that transparency isn't always there, but there's like 9 out of 10 people that you'll work with that always on hit. Everybody's honest. It's a good community. I really don't know what to say about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty new to it. So if you're into snapback hats and you want some fucking cool shit, hit me up. Or if you want something that I don't have, there's hell of people in the game that have fucking hats for sale, but nothing's cheap. You know, you can buy a hat anywhere from $20, $15. I saw a hat go on a live last night on Grail Madness. It went for about $800.
Damn.
It's auction. So they'll put up a hat, they'll auction it, people will bid, and then somebody will take home an $800 hat.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, over time, that's only going to increase, in my opinion, because that hat's probably from the 90s.
Right.
You know what I mean? You ain't going to get another hat like that. So when you have it still 2030, fuck, your $200 hat might be a $600 hat. Your $600 hat might be a $1,200 hat. So they're investments. But yeah, they're fucking, it's pretty crazy, man. Like, I'm trying to build my little collection still. But I'm letting a lot of them go. Just, I don't wear all of the hats that I actually have. That's like the big issue for me. Is like I have over fucking 20 personal hats.
That's what I was going to bring up next. I was going to ask if your personal little collection, if that's ever going to be for sale.
Yeah, I do let some go from time to time. Like, I'll put them in raffles here and there. Like, I got a Raider hat, like a Raider raffle that I went on that
was just last night, right?
Well, I'm going to run it today, so everybody stay tuned. This is already going to be later, so congratulations on whoever won. But I had this Philadelphia Flyers hat. It was a starter white tag, so it's a little bit of an older starter hat. And it was in block letters, and it said Philadelphia Flyers on it right across the middle in orange. It was fucking sick, bro. My favorite hat. I just never wore it. And then the homie who won it in the raffle fucking rocks it like every other day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm glad you won it, bro.
Putting it to use.
Exactly, because it's a shame when you have all these hats and they're just sitting, like, and you're just taking pictures of them, and you're just like, fuck, like, I don't even wear this shit. Like, I have like 10 hats that I don't wear just because I don't want to fuck them up.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, and then like, do I sell them? I do need the money. Like, no, I can't.
You know? Thinking it, how you second guessing it.
Yeah,
well, it's a good from the outside looking in, you know, as a person like who, you know, watches your content and indulges in it and sees just the variety. You know what I mean? That's like one thing. It's like the scope, the wide range that you have for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to figure out the best word to describe it, and one that comes to mind is that it's just fascinating. Right?
Okay, that's really fascinating. Cool. I haven't heard that, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's very fascinating because it's like...
And I'm on a small scale. Like, I am very small scale compared to a lot of the people, even here in SAC. Castro 916, he's actually going to be on the podcast soon. He's a father. He does hat selling part-time. But he's always finding lots here in the Bay Area.
Damn,
like Sacramento and Bay Area. He'll be driving to Fairfield. He'll be posting all his finds. It'll be like a 20 hat find with jerseys and shit, all from the 90s Niners, all decked out. And it's like, bro, that man is on a fucking mission. That's part-time. He does this part-time.
Yeah.
You see some of his lives when he goes live with OJ, and that fool's in North Carolina now. Some people will get what I'm saying. You'll see a set go, and he'll make like fucking $1,400 in a night.
Choo.
From him digging and finding and cleaning and reshaping and giving you the most pristine hat he can make for you.
Choo.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just beautiful. And I'm just trying to follow the people who are doing it right.
Amazing.
You know, I'm trying to just do the same thing.
That's dope.
I appreciate that question.
Yeah. No, that's it's something that, you know, that I heard you talk about with in the episode that you did with Will, Be Easy Will podcast. Y'all check that out.
Check it out. You're grinding tough right now.
When I listened to that episode, and then I listened to the individual episode that you just dropped, He's Back, full circle mentality. He's back, you know. Listening to both of those and talking about how, like, you kind of just, like, stumbled across it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't...
Yeah, it was fucking weird, bro. Like, it went from... oh, I found this page where this guy auctions shit every Wednesday and he has different people on his platform. Let me get a cool hat for $30.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're finding yourself, oh fuck, I just bought my first hat over $100, and it's 130, and you got it in the mail, and you're like, oh fuck, this is sick. And before you know it, you have a little collection, and before you know it, you're just buying, bro. You're buying. You're like, oh fuck, I got to get rid of this shit. My girl's gonna kill me.
And also, I don't know how much you have inventory wise, but I can connect you with. I have someone. We'll talk off air about it, but I feel like there's an opportunity that could be there. That could be both financially beneficial, for not just financially, but exposure wise too. I'll tell you.
Run
something.
it.
Yeah, I'll tell you this.
Let's do it.
But yeah, I interrupted you. You were saying, what's up? Okay, yeah. What you were saying, guy? This is really nice.
That's pretty sick, huh? Shout out my cousin
sick.
for that Christmas present.
Can I show it?
Yeah.
You'll see that. That's pretty sick.
It's it's supposed to be a knockoff. Essentially, those go on the middle of your rims for like lowrider cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a little fucking bottle opener, so it's pretty sick. A little Zenith. But yeah, getting back to the caps. Everybody in the community is dope. If you guys need hats, hit me up. If you guys don't want hats, that's cool too. Check out the podcast.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to say before I get out of here, if it's cool,
is
we do have a new drop that just came out. It's it's FC. It's our FC Kings drop. Shout out the Kings who've been fucking dominating,
like
bro,
the
in
beam.
the West. Dominating in the West in third place right now, if I'm not mistaken.
The beam. They beat the Clippers.
Yeah, right. I think they
game.
had to have the Lakers. I think is it 2? Are they in second place or third?
Well, the Lakers. We're trying to lock in just a fucking a playing
I forget
spot.
what needed to happen, but anyway, there's hoodies, there's crew necks, there's a little photo shoot that we did on our pages, so check it out. We're looking like models, we're feeling nice, you know what I mean?
Feeling good.
We've been working on this drop for a while. A lot of things didn't pan out the way we wanted to, but there's no excuses. We have this shit out now. Check it out.
I'm buying one next Friday.
Payday, baby. It's my payday.
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm buying.
That's
one
when I'm
next
paying
Friday.
for the sweater that I'm already wearing.
I'm getting it next Friday. Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I appreciate you having me on. It's always a blessing to sit here and talk with you.
Yeah.
Again, hats off to you. You put a lot of people on here.
I appreciate that.
Just not only from having people on this podcast, but spitting game to us and not expecting anything back.
Yeah.
That's much appreciated to you, brother.
Love. Appreciate you, bro.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, my guy.
One last one before we out of here, right?
Cheers, bro. We didn't talk about it. Shout out to John Jones. We're supposed to. We didn't talk about it. We'll talk about it off air. But yeah, y'all.
John Jones, heavyweight champ.
Oh,
baby.
the world, Craig. The motherfucking world, Craig.
God, what a great fucking athlete.
Yeah. So Don Julio, 3-time podcast alum now. As far as I know, 3-time podcast alum. I'm liking I think we should run it back with the shots. I think I think episode 120. We should do 120 shots.
Yeah, sure.
I think episode 120, 120 shots. I think we should run it back. Yeah, I think we'll have fun with that one. We got to run it back with Peasy. All of us right here because he said he was excited for it too. So I think that's something that we could work on.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for
in
it,
the
bro.
future for that one too.
We can work in Will too, bro.
Yeah, we gotta have Will in it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Check out the Full Circle Mentality podcast. Check out Julio's page if y'all looking for some hats, some fresh gear, some sweaters, some life advice, some coaching, some workout tips. Hit him up.
I do it all, baby. I do it all.
He's your guy. And then I know a thing or two about embezzlement. No, I don't. That's a joke. That's a lie.
No, he's lying. I actually made $2,000 off of what he suggested recently.
Y'all stay safe.
Take it easy.